news for the UK labour market?
Hi, Laura. The UK has reported a pretty large and slightly surprising drop in unemployment. Official figures show that the rate dropped from 7.4 to 7.1% in the 3 months ending in November. That means that the number of people out of work fell by 167,000. That's the sharpest drop since 1997 and the lowest jobless rate since the beginning of 2009. It also brings the country closer to the key 7% mark, at which the Bank of England says it will consider raising its key interest rates from their 300-year low of 0.5%. The British economy has been picking up steam. Just yesterday, the IMF revised its forecast upwards, saying the economy would likely grow at a rate of 2.4% this year. Now, not just the UK's recovery, but that of Europe and indeed the global economy has been on the agenda in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Our business editor Marcus Carlson is there. He's been getting the views of Sir Martin Sorrell, chief executive of the WPP, or Advertising Group. Let's take a listen.
You, of course, you were on a panel named "Is Europe Back?" earlier. My question to you then is Europe back?
Well, my answer to that was okay-ish. And the okay-ish is, if you look at first of all, Europe is two parts. Western Europe, which is more challenged, and Eastern Europe, which I think is stronger. I'm very bullish on Russia, and I would include Germany in that. I mean, the roots of Russian-German cooperation go back to Schroeder and his relationship with Putin, and that still sticks today. The problems in Europe are really threefold. The big three economies out of the big five that are not functioning. France, I still worry about it being on the downstroke of a U. Italy's bumping along the bottom. Spain is on the uptick, but with inordinately and unacceptably high levels of youth unemployment, something like 50%. That politically and socially can't make sense, and those people who can't get a job, the youngsters can't get a job, their lifetime earnings are eviscerated by being out of employment for the first 4 or 5 years.
Let's take a look at the markets now. The UK's jobless data saw the pound sterling rise to a one-year high against the euro. London's FTSE, though, closed down a little bit, as did the DAX in Germany. The CAC 40 here in Paris ending the day in positive territory. A mixed picture on Wall Street, too. The Dow Jones declining there. That in part because of some disappointing results from the computer giant IBM. That company's top executives have said they'll forego their bonuses for 2013 as sales lagged 5%. Now, there are some problems for Ronald McDonald here in France. McDonald's says French tax authorities have searched its offices but denies a report that the company hid profits in tax havens. The weekly magazine L'Express, citing tax officials, says the French budget ministry suspects the fast food chain of owing up to 2.2 billion euros in taxes since 2009. Claire Murphy has the story.
With over 1,200 restaurants across France, the Golden Arches are a familiar sight. But now claims that income from more than a quarter of these franchises has not been properly declared. French publication L'Express claims the fast food giant has been using Swiss and Luxembourg subsidiaries to avoid French corporate taxes. The magazine claims McDonald's main office outside Paris was searched last October. It's part of an investigation into attempts to avoid paying taxes on 2.2 billion euros of revenue from over 300 eateries since 2009. But on Tuesday, the chain firmly refuted the allegations. It confirmed inspectors searched its headquarters but called it a regular control procedure. The company stressed it had paid 1 billion euros in corporate taxes over the last 4 years.
All taxpayers have a right to fiscal confidentiality. But I can say that my ministry and the fiscal administration are completely committed to the fight against tax evasion, and we will produce results.
Speculation the French state has missed out on hundreds of millions of euros in taxes from McDonald's means Happy Meals are unlikely to be on the menu until the matter is fully resolved.
After a 7-year-long standoff, a deal to close the Goodyear tyre plant in northern France. Workers at the Amiens factory have been protesting against the closure for years, but have now accepted it, and this Wednesday signed a deal with Goodyear to improve their severance benefits. Earlier this month, in an effort to get their message heard, workers held their managers hostage in a boss-snapping incident that lasted over 24 hours. Unions say the agreement will triple payoffs for Amiens' nearly 1,200 workers. Another victory for Apple in its ongoing legal battle with Samsung. A U.S. judge ruling that the South Korean firm had infringed on Apple's autocomplete texting function. when a mobile device suggests words that have not yet been fully typed. The ruling could impact other firms that use similar technology. And finally, if you're a sports fan in need of some cash, you may want to fill out a March Madness bracket. Philanthropist Warren Buffett is offering $1 billion to anyone who can correctly pick the winners of the 63 games in this year's men's college basketball tournament in the U.S. It's not as easy as it sounds. The tournament is notoriously unpredictable, and the odds of winning are said to be less than 1 in 4 billion. That's all for the business news for now. I'll send it back to you, Laura.
Thanks very much, Kate. Not great odds there, are they? All right, time for a short break. We're going to leave you with web news. Stay with us here on France 24.